From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Hey there, the name's Nukem, Duke Nukem, and you're watching the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. For some unknown reason, enjoy.
What's going on, nerds, and welcome to this week's episode of the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. We're talking about the second Hunger Games movie, Hunger Games Catching Fire. It's going to be kind of like last week's show where Susie's going to go, hey, this is what the book did. This is what they didn't do. This is what's going to happen now. Way to blow the surprise, Susie. But, hi, James.
Oh, he doesn't see me. That's okay.
Tootles. Hi, Mother of Spawn.
Hi.
How are you doing? Stop it.
I'm doing great.
James just pictured Keith David.
I was like, her child's not black and burnt an assassin.
I hate you.
Hey, Will, what did we learn last night?
Oh boy.
Well, you don't know? We learned who Keith David plays in Husband Hotel.
So many people watch that in our group now. Is it that good?
Yes!
I've been told to watch it.
I haven't watched it yet, so my opinion stays unstated yet.
I would greatly appreciate it if the two of you watched it. I will not force you to watch it. I may turn it on when you guys aren't paying attention, so then you force you, kind of pay attention to the TV when you hear Keith David's voice comes on it. But
Susie,
I
you know
will
my
not force you to
ADHD
watch
is not going to allow me to pay attention.
Huh?
You know my ADHD is not going to allow me to pay attention.
I'm too cheap to pay attention.
But I mean, you can't go wrong with Keith David as Husk. Like,
You can't go wrong with Keith David playing anybody.
that's true. My favorite is the tweet. He's firing back at people on Twitter, or I'm sorry, X now. One of them was that they should get Keith David to voice their one of their projects, and he's like, "You can't afford me."
Wow. And then you got the wonderful Will behind Susie. He is the host of our anime show that is actually seeing a hell of a lot more views than I was anticipating.
Dude, you should have known.
Yeah, there's a lot of anime people.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of anime people. And I went back and listened to our episode, and it's like straight fire. Fire.
Look at you using slang terms.
Yeah, but it's not as much fire as this episode is.
Shocking, some would say.
I guess I caught that right on the chin.
We came here for the puns.
Yeah, where's Paul? We need Paul for the puns. He's so punny. It's the only reason why he liked the Jungle Cruise so much. So, we are talking about Catching Fire. Susie, going into this movie, after the success that you thought the first one was, if you don't know what to talk about, go listen to last week's episode. What were you expecting going into this one?
I was expecting to see, obviously, the changes that they made to the other book and how they played them off in this movie. Nice, kid. You at least landed that in your bassinet.
Sure. Ciao.
But I had high hopes going into this one. It did not disappoint. But I was still a little miffed. So.
James, you're kind of watching these for the first time.
Oh.
Yes, I am.
What are your initial thoughts? Because Susie and I have watched this multiple times.
It's fucking escalating. Like, holy shit, I wasn't really expecting it to escalate that much throughout the second movie. I was waiting third movie at best, but...
Well, the third movie is split in two. They did the whole Harry Potter thing, where the
You
final
mean the
book
weird
splits it
Twilight?
in two movies.
I was like, you mean the weird Twilight thing?
Did Twilight come first before Harry Potter?
I think Twilight came out. Twilight. I think Breaking Dawn came out before Deathly Hollows.
Eef. Feel so old.
Well, you are old.
What's up,
You leave
Grandpa?
my baldness out of it.
I was considering your age. You brought your baldness into this.
That's
He's doing the grandpa stutter.
yo. What the hell? So to figure out how well this movie did monetarily, the first Hunger Games had a budget of 78. It box office just under 700 million, 695.2 million, and Catching Fire had just a slightly higher budget, right around 135 million, but then brought home 865 million. So overall, still a very strong money success. But now let's get into the movie. James, I'm going to start with you on this. How did you feel the character growth for Peeta and Katniss went from the first movie and now into Catching Fire, as they are being paraded through all four districts in the capital?
It actually was a lot of growth, but then at the same time, we got to kind of see their responses to everyone kind of, oogling, ogling them, praising them. You guys are the greatest couple around. It's like, yeah. You guys are so strong. I want to be like you. I want that Will and Jada love.
I want to be like you. Do 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 do. Yeah, why did that just pop into my?
I don't know. I really need to get Ryan Gosling out of my head now.
I am
Why do
Right?
you have Ryan? What? Oh,
Can you not feel the Kenergy? If the shirt was pink, I would have definitely wore it.
Like, I promise.
so, Will, I know you have a lot that ties back to these movies and books. Catching Fire. What did you think of Katniss and Peeta? Uh, going through all that PTSD and stuff.
Well, I mean, when you're in an event like that, like, makes sense. I'm glad they actually kind of showed it, like even in like the books and this, that they showed off that it actually affected them, instead of like trying to be like, oh no, everything's fine, everything's fine.
I mean, just to touch, like, to continue that point though, she also shows it for the other victors too, and they showed in the movie too. Particularly this one, like you see and you hear different things that the Capitol has made them do since they've become victors.
Phoenix basically gets hoard out.
Yeah, but that becomes very important in the next movie. So.
Does. Well, he mentions it in this one. What do they pay you? Not money, in secrets. And I'm on board with Will there. I like that they showed the PTSD. And then I think Haymitch mentions it somewhere halfway through the movie. He said, "You never leave the games, ever."
No.
And you see that with Peeta. She shoots the arrow at the turkey or the deer at the beginning of the movie, and she sees it right into one of the tributes, and she starts freaking the fucketh out it.
So Haymitch actually says that in District 11, which is their first stop on the tribute tour.
Is that where the guy gets executed?
On the victory tour, yep. He gets executed. Haymitch takes him upstairs, and he's like, "You never leave the games." Yeah, and that's when they find out that the president is threatening Katniss.
That conversation that Snow has with them is like, I could just imagine for Katniss how bone chilling that is. Like, he knows fucking everything, and they're trying to plan ahead of him, and it just feels like he has 5, 6, 10, 15, whatever moves in front of them, and he's got eyes, ears, he really makes you feel like you have no fucking way to.
I mean, on that note, can we talk about the new peacekeepers?
Ow, poor Gail. I thought I had a back problem.
Like, that's insane. And like, but like, I
He
do
got
like the fact that
whipped.
they show like with the new peacekeepers,
Mhm.
they did change the scene a little bit from what it was in the book, but it worked.
Yeah.
But they really the movie really capitalizes on the change that Katniss's mother went through from being, docile and, in a
Shut
corner,
down. Yeah.
not really there, to, she was prevalent in Katniss's life, for the tribute tour, for the victory tour. I keep calling it the tribute tour, which really it is, but okay.
Victory tour?
It's the victory tour. I keep
Okay.
calling it the tribute tour. Um, but not only that, but they show it like when they brought Gail in, like she immediately went to work. The only thing she couldn't do was draw the medicine, but she immediately went to work.
Mhm.
Like that
And
was amazing to
you
see.
see how much she's taught Prim
Yeah,
in healing, which that's gonna come into later on.
backfire.
Like, boom.
Mm.
Very clever. I see what you did there. But yeah, and that's when they find out they're going on tour, where they leave for the tour, and they hit every district. And while some are not really appreciative, I think 11 was, for the fact of how Katniss treated Rue, um, and the other ones for wanting to rebel and all that. But they got to 2 and 1, and it was you.
Well,
I
not
think.
really.
Well,
They don't really talk about 2 and 1.
one of, is it 3 or 2? The one with the little girl. When I get older, I'm gonna volunteer like you. And Katniss is looking at her like,
It would have been the peacekeepers. Probably would have been the peacekeepers district,
that's either
which
1 or 2.
I believe is 4.
Oh, it's 4.
I believe I could. I'm like 100% wrong, but I think it's either 2 or 4.
And you see how much, not want to say pull, how much hope and how much Katniss has on people.
Yeah.
And that says a lot, and the only one that really sees it is Snow.
Peeta sees it too.
Well, yeah, which is going to be explained later. And it's to the point where Snow's granddaughter loves Katniss.
Yeah.
So now we get to, what did Suze, I'll start with you, and then you could bump it to Will, and then James will pick up the back end. What do you guys think of Snow and Plutarch's game plan with the games? When you win the Hunger Games, you're supposed to live with no more reapings. Your family is then safe, and that's it.
So the problem that I have with the movie, and this is like the big part that problem I have with the movie, is in the book, it's an ancient box, it's dusty, and they pull out the 70th. They planned preemptively for the 75th quarter quell based on the book's descriptions. In the movie, they're like, oh, well, what are we going to do for the 75th? Let's throw them back in the arena. Like, they made it seem like, it was an impromptu decision, and not that it was decided, 75 years ago that this is what they were going to do. And I think that's like a big, huge thing. I love that they did this for the movie.
What a
Don't
kick
get
in
me
the
wrong.
dick. What a kick in the dick.
I love that they did it for the movie. I love that you got to see the interaction between Snow and Plutarch. I like that Plutarch had a bigger role in the movie than he did in the book.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna get Philip Seymour Hoffman, you're gonna fucking use Philip Seymour Hoffman.
I really think that's the only reason they gave Plutarch a bigger role. I honestly, he has such a huge role in the next book that they could have kept his role tiny in this book. Because his role is huge in the next one. But I like that they did it for the movie, but I also wish that they had really kept the context that this has been a planned long time thing. Because I think it would have been a little bit better.
See, I like the fact, and then I'll throw it to Will. I like the fact that they're trying to kill Katniss.
AJ, just to clarify something, you are aware that the new Peacekeepers came in after the Victory Tour, right?
Yeah. Now, yes.
Okay. Because that does not happen until after the Victory Tour.
No, I thought they didn't announce that till afterwards, where they were gonna pull from the victors.
No, they announced it after. What I'm talking about is Gale with all the scars on his back.
Oh yeah.
And the new Peacekeepers came in after the Victory Tour.
That
Because of the Victory Tour.
that dude's never sleeping on his back again.
That dude shouldn't be sleeping at all, but that's just beside the point. I love my husband. He's making all sorts of sound effects for me. Fucking dad. So, Will, what are your thoughts?
Besides being annoyed at this.
It's taking 12,000 years.
Yeah,
We'll give you such a crick in the neck.
I'm gonna have to redo the whole fucking thing, I guess.
Is she or her eyes open or closed?
Open.
She's staring at Papa.
Closed. But she just closed it. I don't know. I mean, it was good, but I feel like if they did that interaction while also including the box, like they had the box there and then had that discussion where, oh, this is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Then I think it would have been better. But I think it was okay though. I don't think it was end of the world how they did it.
I know. It wasn't the end of the world. It worked for the movie. It's just I feel like books always do things a certain way, and you should kind of follow the way the books do it because it's a great emotional impact.
Mm-hmm. I see that. I see that. James?
What was the question? Sorry, I stepped away for a phone call. My bad.
Suze? Drawing a blank now. What did I ask? Fuck. Hit the rewind button.
We were talking about the going back into the arena.
Oh, were they pulled from the victors from Hunger Games past? Because once you're a victor, you're supposed to live in peace. And you winning saves your family from ever being reaped. Until I think the next generation or the generation after that. I forgot what that rule was. Because Prim and her mother were living in Victory Circle too. Same thing with Peeta's family.
So Peeta's family was not living in Victor Circle.
They weren't? It was only Katniss's family?
Katniss's family was. Katniss invited her mother and Prim to live with her. Technically, they did not live with her according to the Capitol. They still had their house in the oh my god. What's it called?
District?
No.
There's a phrasing for
it's actually called something. I forget what it's called. But they have their house not outside of Victor Circle. Katniss invited her mom and Prim to live with her. Peeta's family did not get invited by Peeta to live in Victor Circle. He went to work at his father's bakery and came home.
It's called
there
the
was
Seam.
Nobody living in Peeta's house.
It's called the Seam.
The Seam. There was nobody living in Peeta's house except for Peeta. Sorry, I had to correct everybody there.
You're fine. Hakuna Matata. You've read the books and probably watched the movies an ungodly amount of times.
Yes.
But James, what did you think of them throwing a wrench into you are no longer living peacefully?
Some bullshit.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to, yeah.
Hey, remember that traumatic period when you had to kill your best friend? You want to do it again? I don't know these people. That's the spirit, Johnny.
And I think the way they did it, and I really think the way they did it was they knew Katniss had to go back. There was no other female victor from 12. So no matter what, she was going to be back in the games against people that are going to try to kill her.
The panic attack she has, knowing that when they announced that, nobody could talk to her. She died.
And then Haymitch was doing good with not drinking a lot of alcohol and then went right back into Das Bottle.
So technically, he wasn't doing good with not drinking a lot of alcohol.
He was getting better.
He was getting better, but when they announced it, he had to cut back significantly because it was a race between Peeta and Haymitch to who would get picked.
Yeah, and Haymitch was very much, and well, at least Katniss, because Katniss goes over and has that conversation with Haymitch. If Peeta's name gets called, please volunteer. But then if the vice versa happens, he can't stop Peeta from volunteering.
Yeah, and I mean, if Peeta got called, Haymitch was going to volunteer. But if Haymitch gets called, Peeta's volunteering. So no matter what, there was a vicious circle between the two guys.
Yeah. And I'm kind of happy that we didn't see Haymitch get in there, just for the fact of, hey, yo, drunk old guy.
I'm gonna be honest. I think if Haymitch had gone in there instead of Peeta, I think Katniss would have been more willing to trust other people.
Okay, I could see that. I could see that very well, actually.
And I feel like Haymitch would have gotten, if you wake up this child, you're going to get hurt. Stop.
Talking like it's perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine. No, my dog keeps jumping over her.
He's playing the role of the sheep. One sheep.
And I just got her to sleep, so I need him to not wake her up for a little bit. It's very chill. But I also think that Haymitch would have let Peeta in on the revolutionary plan, and all three of them would have made it out there safely. By Haymitch not going into the arena, they ran the risk of Peeta being left behind.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think that was very poor planning, and Haymitch really should have let the two of them in on what was going on.
Well, Peeta knew.
Peeta did not know.
No,
I feel like
no idea.
They left Peeta out. If
Peeta
had known, Peeta would have known the plan and would have stuck with the plan.
Peeta and Katniss were the only two involved in the plan that had no idea that the plan existed.
Yep.
Okay.
They were afraid that Katniss was going to ruin it, so they didn't tell her. And Peeta tells her everything, so Peeta can't be involved in the plan.
Okay. I thought Peeta was in on it. My bad.
No.
So let's talk about Cinna throwing middle fingers upon middle fingers to the Capitol, and then gets
Cinna did not deserve what he got.
Then Lenny Kravitz kind of just gets dead. He just gets dead.
So he's not killed
there, but he does die.
He is going to die.
And what kind of fucked up bullshit? Like, that was purposely, 100% purposely done. The minute that cylinder comes down, do it right in front of Katniss, right before
they waited until the cylinder closed.
Yeah.
But you heard the shot, I believe.
He doesn't get shot.
I don't.
He doesn't get shot in the book or in the movie.
I was gonna say. He might.
He might eventually, but he does not get shot in the book or in the movie. He gets beaten to a pulp. And if you notice, they do a countdown of how long to get in the tube to go up. They stopped the countdown.
Salute.
They stopped the countdown. They froze time for this to happen in front of Katniss. They wanted her so emotionally unstable.
Yeah.
She would get herself killed.
And it worked.
Almost.
Yeah, she didn't die, obviously. But when they get to that pedestal in the middle of the water, which, James, great artwork this week, dude. Beautiful artwork this week. Why you always gotta be doing that shit?
James, you're my hero.
You guys are dorks.
No, it's on the back. It's on the back of Will's chair.
That's a
My hero.
good
Don't see
one.
Baka.
It says my.
It says Midoriya on it.
Yeah, but on the back of it, it says My Hero Academia.
Susie, you read that wrong. It doesn't say Midoriya. It says nerd.
Nope, I see nerd. Also says Midoriya on the front, on the back of it. So, haha.
I don't have alcohol.
That sounds like a personal problem.
They're now in the games. It's real. All the games that they tried to play to get out of it, like Katniss saying she's pregnant, or not Katniss, Peeta saying Katniss is pregnant. All the victors, even the ones from 1 and 2, were like, "This is bullshit. We don't want to do this. Fuck
They were
you
supposed to
guys."
be from the games.
I love Joanna so much on that stage. You know what? Go fuck yourself, you pieces of shit. Like, I know it's PG-13, but they're allowed one F-bomb. Use it.
That's actually before they were even. I think Catching Fire came out before they were actually allowed the one use of the F bomb.
No, they were letting one use of the F bomb when that came out.
Really?
But
That's actually a recent thing?
So it's recent-ish.
I think it's always been that way.
I'll say early 2000s, right?
Early to the I want to say probably 08, 09 is when it really changed.
No shit.
Like I want to say like late.
I thought it was always a thing. Dumb bitch. But yeah, when they're talking to Stanley Tucci's character, shit, the host.
Flickerman.
Thank you, Caesar Flickerman. They're all very much against going into the games again.
Flickerman's against them going into the games again.
I didn't get that from him.
So
You got it.
it's the questions he asks. He does it on purpose. Because he wants the audience to figure out a way to get the games to stop.
Interesting. Like I said, I didn't get that from him.
Yeah.
Because he's still bubbly as can be, and, you know.
Oh, yeah, he has to be.
So in love with the love.
He has to portray a specific personality.
What's wrong there, James?
Oh, I can see now. Do you guys want to start a revolution? Say yeah. Fuck the world. And everyone's like, bruh. He's like,
What the fuck just happened?
But in moving along in the story,
And all you gotta keep is moving line.
I think it's interesting that we have District 12, District 7, Lumber.
Mhm.
Finnick was 8.
Keep going and I can look it up.
And then we have BD and Virus. BD was District 5, 4 or 5. That was
Finnick is District 4.
Oh, well, I was completely wrong then. I just know it's the fishing district.
District 4.
Yeah, and then BD's from the electric district. They design programming and all that stuff.
Mhm.
I
Computer
don't know which
chips.
district Virus was from.
Virus was the computering too.
And computering too. And then but you have all these different districts that have banded together against the
TikTok, TikTok, TikTok,
oh my god,
TikTok. About to get banned.
the
TikTok.
career tributes. But I think my favorite aspect about this arena, and I love this arena. This is my favorite arena. Is because it's a clock.
Okay.
And you don't immediately figure it out. Like, it's not point blank obvious that it's a clock until you're standing in the cornucopia and you
And
can watch.
everything's happening at a certain time.
Yeah.
Lightning strike, poison mist, monkeys, mockingjays, the blood, the flood. There's a couple more.
The bees,
Poison mist. The poison mist.
like hornet things.
Jacker,
Tracker jackers.
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's how they originally figured it out. And then what does Plutarch do?
Spin it.
Which they already know what time is what time. Just look for the lightning bolt tree.
Yeah.
There's your 12 o'clock.
He also is trying to make it more complicated because I think he noticed that the career tributes were like starting to catch up to our little posse.
I think he's trying to make it look like he is against Snow, not against Snow, like he's still on the same side as Snow.
Yeah.
So he's still trying to make it look like he's not a bad guy, but an actual game maker trying to kill people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you know how lucky Katniss got in these games? Like, there were a
Yes.
couple times where they're like, we need her to live, but I have to look like I'm still trying to kill her convincingly.
Mm-hmm.
Yipe!
Yeah.
Like when it's spinning and she goes off into the water.
I personally think that
Almost Matthew
games,
Perry'd it.
this particular game fucked her up more than the first game she was in.
I
And
think the
part of
Mockingjays did that. Was I stealing your...
Mockingjays didn't help, but she at least thought Prim was safe, and that's who she heard in the Mockingjays was Prim.
Well, how do Mockingjays listen? How do you think they got those? And Finnick even says it.
Yes, but they could have gotten it any number of ways. So she had no reason to believe that Prim wasn't safe. Because it's not until the next book that she finds out what happens to District 12. So as far as
she finds out at the end of this one. Gale tells her at the end of this one, but he also then tells her, I was able to get your mother and your sister out.
Yeah. So, but after the Mockingjays, like, even Peeta's like calming her down, and she's going, yeah, they could have her voice, but she's probably safe.
Mm-hmm.
Less of an issue. It's not until the end of the games where she's on a ship, she doesn't know where she's going, Peeta's missing. Like, now you see the extent of the mental breakdown that she is having from these games.
And when she wakes...
She is in it to not to survive, but to keep Peeta safe.
Yeah. And when she wakes up after they blow up the games, and she wakes up from being unconscious and sees Haymitch, Finnick, and Plutarch.
Yeah.
She's thinking, what the fuck? You guys, what? And
Yeah.
goes to stab not Plutarch, not Finnick, Haymitch.
Because Haymitch made a promise to her and he broke it. but it was an unintentional break.
I've had a girl tell me that before.
So I have a question for the three of you. Now that you've watched two of the movies, and James will be able to answer this better than anybody else because he hasn't seen the movies before. Who do you believe Katniss is actually in love with? Gale or Peeta?
I'm gonna say Gale because Peter seems really forced and like he's like how do I put this? He's like that annoying little kid that gets brought to the party because they don't want to leave him alone because he gets into trouble. So he's just there. He's like, "Hi, everybody!" Like, you bitch. Yeah,
He's Melvin.
he's Yamcha.
Yeah.
Hey
Okay.
guys, I'm here
Hey.
to play.
I can see that. AJ?
Oh, it's 100% Peeta. While she in the first movie, she I think had feelings for Gale. She really, by the end of the first one and back in the games again in the second one, develops feelings for Peeta and more of a platonic feeling for Gale.
Will? It's your turn to answer the question.
Did I say that they kissed? That makes it weird. Ding 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 ding.
I mean, she kissed both boys, so.
I mean,
But I just called one brother and sister.
I mean, to be fair, the district does look like the shape of Florida, so I mean, like it's. Damn, Florida got crazy in the future.
I'm thinking.
That's a really good question.
Harry,
Sophie.
Will doesn't know how he wants to answer this question.
At this point, it's kind of like she doesn't know.
Okay, she doesn't know. I'm asking who you believe based on her actions in the movie and in the book, or in the book.
No, that's
Or both.
that's my opinion. That was what I thought at that time. Because in the first one, it was obviously Gale. Gale, like just in my opinion, it was 100%. She was in love with Gale. You would think in the second movie that would just keep growing, and then the second one you see like their interactions more, and it's like, huh.
Well, I'm going to throw a monkey wrench into all of this because I agree with AJ. I think that, and I agree with Will too. I think in the first movie she was in love with Gale. But I think come the second movie, Gale doesn't have the same experiences she's had. So there's a gap. He can't bridge that gap.
And he can't just manifest it.
Yeah, he wasn't there. He doesn't understand. But I think a lot of her love for Gale in the first movie, especially, was survival. It was entirely about survival. She loved him because he helped her survive.
Mhm.
And that's no longer the case. Now it's Peeta that's helping her survive. But I think a lot of it also is that Peeta understands her on a level that Gale doesn't. Peeta took the time to get to know her, like really get to know her. And we know that Gale knows her, but like it feels more like happenstance rather than.
That's why I said it feels like they're brother and sister.
So, but like, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't get that feel until Gale gets whipped. Like I personally thought that she loved Gale until Gale got whipped, and you see the dramatic change because the way she's acting, the way she's behaving, isn't just for a loved one. It's how I would behave for any of my family members.
I don't know. Those whips look like they hurt.
I feel like she would have been more.
My brother might get them. I'm like, you're doing great. Don't pass out.
Just breathe.
Just bite down.
You'll get ice cream later. You got.
Canada. Mexico. United States, Canada.
AJ,
Yes.
Steve.
Needed a new drink anyway. Well, continue talking. Don't be dead air people.
Oh my
Out
god,
the air are dead. The air
oh
is
no.
full of live molecules that are bouncing off of one another while we breathe it in, mixing with our out air. So there's no dead air. It's all live.
Air is
Oh,
dying.
let's go to a different site to get 2 cards to finish the 2 decks I finished.
I think I just broke AJ's brain.
Yeah, I'm only crying.
I freaking hate you. I left my headset on to hear all that. I try to get down, grab a drink, and I almost fall forward because I'm laughing so hard, you
Good.
maniac.
Good.
He needed a good chuckle.
Well, fine. I'm going to start with you with one of our final questions of this wonderful, wonderful episode. How do you feel that we go from the first movie to Catching Fire? Is it keeping your interest? Is it expanding the universe and the story the way you want? Or are there parts of this where you're like, come on, let's get going? Should have added this from the book.
So they were not lacking in parts from the book. Like they got all the key points. They added some things that they probably didn't need, but it added elements to the movie that were amazing.
Okay.
But I don't feel like this was rushed. I don't feel like it was slow at any point. I feel like it was perfectly paced.
Good sequel?
Huh?
Good sequel?
Good sequel. It was definitely a good sequel. They really capitalized on the book. They didn't capitalize it as well as they did with the first movie, but they definitely capitalized on the book.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they were able to emit really good energy to continue on with the series.
Will?
Grand finale.
Yeah, but it takes 2 movies to do the grand finale.
There's so much in that last book, though.
Finale.
There is. I will give you that. And I think when we get to it, we'll talk about it. They do split it at the perfect time.
They really do.
Okay, James. Was this a good sequel? Is it keeping your interest into seeing what's going to happen in Mockingjay?
Yes, it has me behooved completely. I'm copying your energy right here.
Whose? Mine? Will's? Susie's? The
Yours.
babies? Or the dogs?
Yours.
Bark, bark.
It
So-
actually has me pretty excited. I honestly, probably when we're done, I'll probably start watching, part 1.
I mean, me too. Until
Okay.
Jessica gets down here and throws Taylor Swift on.
Can I be honest? Would we like honesty at this table?
I thought your name was Susan.
She's behind
I
me.
have not rewatched any of these movies before doing this podcast.
Neither of us.
You haven't been doing your homework?
No, because we remember enough of that to do.
Hold on. I didn't do my homework, and yet I knew parts of the movie that you didn't know.
And I just watched it today.
Damn, she said you ain't got no nipples, dude.
He
Yeah, where the fuck did they go? The pepperoni fell off. Oh, shit. I love
You
it.
proud of yourself for that one?
No, not at all. Came at my expense. Why would I be proud of it? I'm very excited to do Mockingjay. This was great. And I forgot what series we're doing next. I know it was a toss-up between Hunger Games and something else.
I will tell you in a second.
He's gonna tell us in a second.
In the meantime, AJ, why don't you tell us what you've been up to?
Watching a lot of My Hero Academia.
Yeah, when's that episode release?
Next
Uh,
week.
Next week. which I'm very excited for because I forgot how good season 3 was. I just for people that know the series, I just finished the battle with the League of Villains in the woods while they're on training camp. Just finished it. Did you just pet him like Pretty Kitty?
Oh no! So there wasn't a toss up. It's already been decided. We're doing Sherlock Holmes.
Well, no, I remember you asking, do you want to do Sherlock Holmes or do you want to do Hunger Games? And I was like, let's do Hunger Games.
Yes, so we're doing Sherlock Holmes.
Which Sherlock Holmes? Are we doing Robert Downey Jr. or are we doing Benedict Cumberbatch?
We're doing Robert Downey Jr. because Benedict Cumberbatch isn't done yet.
Is it a series?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was a movie.
Yes.
Wow. No, that was both of y'all's options. For some reason, I thought Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell played Sherlock Holmes?
It's not a good movie.
No.
I didn't even know that.
Why would you torture? You know what? If you want to torture AJ that way, be my guest, but I don't want to do that.
I am not into torture. Believe me, you could ask my wife. I'm not into torture.
I'm gonna leave my
That
Taylor
shouldn't have came out. That was supposed to be an inside thought.
It was not an inside thought.
Yeah, I can't wait to do the anime show. We got the wrestling show on Monday, which is going to be fun. We're talking about WrestleMania 10. The ladder match, James. Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon. And then Susie ended up watching that episode. It's like, I haven't watched wrestling in a long time. And it looks like it's fun.
I also made the comment, and I'm very happy that AJ doesn't feel the need to wear a hood or a hat in my presence anymore.
You happy now?
No.
You happy? Now I'm not blinding the camera.
You weren't blinding the place.
Felt like the king in SpongeBob. Bald! Bald!
Bah!
My eyes!
Actually, I think my boss is balder than you are, so.
You can't get much balder than me.
I don't know. One of my bosses on the floor, he's pretty bald. Like, he has hair only like here. Just down there. That's it.
I grow a nice beard though.
So is my boss.
Teach me your ways, oh Simba.
Genetics?
Anyway.
Genetics.
AJ, I have an important question for you.
I didn't do it.
Where can people find you?
I haven't done this one in a while. And I don't have 625 up on this since it reset. So, here on our Facebook pages or YouTube or TikTok, which I really need to start putting more videos on. Really should start doing that. All-Star 15 TV, the nerds, the wrestling nerds, Brian, TJ, and myself are going to be down in Mania in 3 weeks. That's going to be fun.
I better fucking see you.
In 100,000 people, you're going to find one fat guy?
Stand out. Be extravagant. This is your WrestleMania moment, damn it.
Stand out. Stand out. So I got to get the power line suit?
I will RKO you. I know if you don't stand out.
So what you're telling me is I need to get stick-on LED lights.
I don't like where this is going. I don't like where...
Damn, I really need to make you that Nerds Heavyweight Championship belt, huh?
Oh, wait, no, hold on. I got one better. Maybe we do NDNT.
That was actually going to be on the side plates. I thought about this.
You like it? I shined it up nice for you.
Ooh, how did that happen? I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Asshole?
Hey, James, an important question for you.
Fuck you, Susan.
Now that I was an asshole to AJ, I got to do something to you. Where can people find you and your amazing artwork?
All right,
You're
so they can
not
find me
gonna
at
get an asshole
Payfair
to
Art on Insta. You can find me on TikTok because maybe I'll decide to live stream. I don't know just yet because I found I can actually face my camera this time.
You have over 1,000 followers?
Yeah. I'm almost in my 30s now.
30,000? Fuck. Good job, James.
And all I've been doing is posting reels from like last year. I haven't done anything new lately. And a personal one, if people want to catch the fade, I'm playing Tekken 8, so come and get some.
My wife's being mean. Being mean.
I'm gonna refrain from commenting. Hey, Will, where can people find you? I don't know what that means.
Fighting delivered democracy, hell died. Bugs.
Slip out delivering the Infinity Stones to
Apparently, he's playing Helldivers.
Well, yeah,
Oh.
that's kind of what we're doing after that.
How I dissected that's what he was playing.
We unfortunately have to wait for Ethan to get home.
No, we don't.
You know? I thought we did.
No, he can just play and then he can join us after.
Oh, what time does he get home?
I don't fuck. Well, he went in and opened, so I don't know what he's doing now. He's probably
for
out
him.
watching a movie with a friend or something. Because he has that A-list thing, so him and a
Oh, I really do want to go see the new John Cena movie.
Ricky Sinecki. It's on
Yeah.
Amazon.
It's on Amazon? It's not in the movies?
It's on Amazon. I can watch it again with you. It'll be my like 7th time already. I love the movie.
Is it funny?
Yes.
All I see is the picture of him dressed as Britney Spears. All right,
I was
Susie.
very long, but you're good.
Where can people fucking find you bitch?
Are you proud of yourself, AJ?
No,
Okay.
never.
So you won't be mad at me if I make LED lights show up at your house tomorrow?
Why? I'm gonna see you on Saturday.
That's not as much fun.
Then you could test the. I'm going to shut up.
You could find me wishing my best friend a happy birthday this weekend.
My wife. Yes, that's correct. This is her
It took
birthday.
you a moment there. I'm a little
Uh,
concerned.
I was like, my birthday's in August.
We are in March. I have more than one best friend. Your wife's happens to come first.
Oh, I see how it is.
Apparently
you're more important.
Damn straight.
I don't like you right now.
You'll be more important at your birthday that we don't celebrate.
Yeah, I just go to GameCraft and drink and play games. I'm
I have
addicted.
coins.
I'm addicted to pinball.
We have a birthday ritual for AJ. We have birthday rituals for Jess. This one
You currently don't have birthday rituals anymore because you have a child.
I will still have birthday rituals. My birthday ritual right now is we're going to see a Broadway show. So that is what I do to do for my birthday.
That's right.
Yeah,
You're going to see Aladdin
I am.
because Will's a straight G.
My husband is amazing.
That's what I meant. That's what a G means.
Exactly up.
Right? You're amazing. He loves me.
He's will-tacular.
Most days.
Today he didn't love me so much.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. This was fun. I can't wait to talk about Mockingjay. I can't wait to talk about wrestling on Monday. And I'm very excited to finish season 3 of My Hero. Because it's just so good. Watch it. And then listen to us. Do it.
Okay,
Are you using a quirk right now?
I'm
Uh-oh.
very confused and concerned.
All I did was picture Stewie when he was doing that to Brian. And it just... Brian?
Who can't
Brian,
use boogie
help.
wipe?
All right, everybody. Peace out. Susie's got something to do with the diaper wipe. Everybody run.
It's a boogie wipe.
Here, what you do with the boogie?
Woogie, 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 woogie.
I can tell you where to stick it.
Nope. All right. Bye, everybody.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.